Can you see my screen, guys? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You can see as well the PPT, right?
Yes.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So welcome, guys, to the webinar of Personal Development Plan. It's going to be a really quick webinar, 30 minutes and everything. So feel free to ask questions and to ask questions. So I'm just going to start with what is a personal development plan. And for me, it's something about enable individuals to improve their performance and to reach their full potential in every stage of their career or in this experience, everything. As you know, personal development plan is not something that ISEC does. It's something that most of the companies implements in their employees and their people to mainly make sure that they're fulfilling their personal goals with their job that they're doing. And if it's like a good company, like they do really amazing workshops and amazing um, like how do you say incentive plans and everything according to the development plans that their members are doing. So a personal development plan is a really amazing thing to use, so you can improve the environment of your company, or in this case, for example, of your LC. um, as well as for this matter, it can help the members to manage the direction and goals they want into their careers and into their ISEC careers as well, and how they're going to do it, the necessary skills, the necessary knowledge, so they can improve themselves. So, so yeah, this is basically a PDP. The importance of it is something that we need to talk about as well. As you know, we have a lot of things in ISEC that we can do to improve, like bonding times, one-to-ones, like a lot of things. But for me, the personal development goals are the most basic things, so you can understand your people in the first stages of the organization, you know? You can understand their dreams, their hopes, and mostly like the things that they want to achieve through a PDP. So you can see how to help them to see the future in themselves, into the organization. As well, like you are going to increase the member satisfaction, loyalty, and motivation, mostly because you are going to understand what are the things that all of your members want. And in this case, we're going to talk mostly about your EB, for example, because you are the ones that are delivering, you are the DLs for the EB, so you are going to deliver those PDPs. Your EB is going to deliver to the TLs in case that you have, and the TLs to their members, you know? So you're not going to have like all DLC PDP for you, but you need to enable it and to be like, how do you say, the example of your LC to start doing the PDPs, you know? As well, like you are going, this is going to help you to retain your people as well, because you are setting a challenging experience according to the people, you know? Facilitates better communication, increase the performance. You align the LC and ISEC goals with the personal goals, as well as we delivered what we promised to the members. You know what it is? Well, basically it's leadership, you know? Because since you are setting these challenges every month to develop themselves, you are actually doing what we promised, you know? So this is mostly the importance of it. We can say more things, and you can think more about it, like after the session, if you want to talk about it. But for me, these are the most important ones. Then here, I'm going to talk a little bit about team standards, where we can find it. We can find it in the building phase, into the individual plan part. So as you know, we have 3 stages of the team standards. If we think, for example, like school project, the teacher assigns you a team, and then you start doing, okay, what we're going to do? we're going to do an essay. So, okay, so how we're going to do it? Team rules, please send it before midnight. Please do this. And then what is the team purpose, etc., etc. We can set the timeline for the essay, if we are going to need something else, blah, blah, blah. And then we can set that the individual plan thing is like how you're going to deliver the best out of it into the team. So the personal development plan comes there into the most important part of the team standards in my perspective, because if you don't set a good building, everything else can be a really bit harder to do. To results elevation, to keep track of the performance, everything is going to be harder if you don't make sure that the building part is well established, and mostly the personal development plan. Okay. So this is the only thing that I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to teach you a little bit about step by step and for weeks. So you have your members, you select them, and in this case, your EV. You select your EV, and before starting, you can ask them in week one to do their initial LDA. Once that you assign them the roles and everything in Excel, they are going to get a button. Yes, a button. Whatever. How do you pronounce that? But yes, a part where you can see to take the initial LDA as VP or of certain things. So you ask them to do it because then you can analyze the results in the one-to-one that you can ask for next week on week two, you know? So in the week two, in the one-to-one that you are going to do, you will talk about two main things. The LDA results, you are going to do like this talk about what do you think about the results that you get in your LDA. Do you think you need to improve something else? Blah, blah, blah. And then to set the PDP. I'm going to show you a tool that for me it's super, super nice to do the PDP, and it's super easy. Um, I don't know if your VPs or your previous leaders set you a PDP before, but for me, this one is simplified in terms of like you don't need that many things to track, you know. So I'm just going to show you that, and then um, here I'm going to tell you like you should have a one-to-one monthly with your EV to review the improvements of the goals that they're setting. And every quarter, you are going to do like a close up of those goals that they set. So, approximately, if you think your EB, that is 6 months, it's going to take two sets of challenges into their PDPs. So, if they get 3 challenges per quarter, they're going to have 6 challenges in their terms. So you are going to check how's everything there, and later that I'm explaining to you the how do you say the tool. You're going to see how is it done, but basically you have one ISEC goal and two personal goals, like one career and one personal. So that way you can how do you say like take all of the most of it of the life of the person, for example, and then at the end of the JD you need to ask for a final LDA as well, so you can see if they had a difference between the first one and the last one, you know, and how if they improve, how do they improve in what terms, and what are the next steps to their LDAs, and if they are going to take another JD or something like that, how they're going to develop themselves, you know? After it, as well, set a final one-to-one to finish and review their progress. And as well, as I told you, if they're going to take another JD, how they're going to improve in the next JD, or if not, how they're going to take these things that they learn in ISEC, how they're going to apply it in their normal life, you know? So far, do you have any questions here?
Nope.
So I'm going to show you the tool that I'm talking about. So this is a template of the tool. You can think that it's a little bit tricky and hard, but actually it's not at all. This dashboard that you're seeing right now is automatic, so you don't have to modify anything from here, okay? This is only for you to see the development, the most important developments of your members, and these are random names, okay? So then we have the 9 box. Here I'm just going to explain it a little bit quick if you don't know what is 9 box, but 9 box is like this kind of methodology, if that we can say that, where you can see how their member are performing. Like the lower part, that is this one that is red, we can say that the member is not having any potential, and as well not performance. So this is like member in alert, for example, and then the blue one, that is this one, is that a member reached their maximum potential and they're performing amazingly. So usually we want that all of their members, your members, are in this part, but if they are somehow in the middle, it means that they still need to improve, and you as a team leader need to know and create strategies to improve yourselves, so they can improve yourself as well. Like the surrounding boxes can mean how you can make them better. So for example, in this PDP that we see, Xavier is having an amazing potential, but is having like medium to low performance. So how you can do best performance for Xavier? What are the things that he's lacking, and you need to potentialize, you know? But in this terms, for example, Lucila is having really great performance, but her potential is middle potential. So how you're going to increase her potential in this matter? These are the questions that you need to ask yourself when you are reading this performance management dashboard, or for example. And then we have like professional goals, achievement of these professional goals, then the performance, and then development goal, things like that that they are getting. So as you can see, the professional goals are the ones that are from ISEC, for example, that means that is the performance score in this part, performance, you know? And then we have the development goals that is like mostly personal. So those things, how are you developing so you can have the potential score? So now that's how you match, and how that the tool is placing the members into the 9 box. Do you have any questions about this?
Happy birthday, Mariana. Sorry,
Happy
sorry for the
birthday,
disturb.
Mariana. Ah, thank you. So yeah.
Sorry for being late.
Well, so far this is clear for you all, right? Okay, I'm sensing that silence as a yes. Okay, thank you. So then we're going to move, for example, for member 1 in this case. So this, for me, kind of looks kind of crazy, but actually is super easy in my perspective. So each one of these parts, it's a month, we can say, okay? So the first thing, the first one-to-one that you are going to do with your member, usually is this. You are going to put their picture here about the member, and then you're going to put the information here. And then this is automatic, so you don't move anything of those things. But then, for example, that's why you ask initial LDA before the one-to-one. So she can, or he can put their their, how do you say, their results initial, and if they had final, okay, final. But it's not like only the initial and then the inference. Like for example, if you have initial LDA, what are the analysis that that person did about like world citizen? For example, this person has 35, so it's really good. Well, is she's lacking about something, so she needs to put like, I'm lacking of meeting new people, blah blah blah, things like that, you know. So since you're having LDA, you know what are the things about the leadership qualities that person is missing and you can improve, Then checklist for first one-to-one. Here is, for me, it's amazing because you already have the checklist. First, make sure your member knows his, her JD and measurements of success very well. So that's why in this one-to-one, you are going to present as well their JD, and if they have questions or something, you are going to clarify everything. And then you are going to ask some questions to understand their motivation into being in ISEC and like in her life in general. Well, his life. So you can understand, like, for example, if that person only joined because they wanted professional experience in some way, then how you're going to make sure that this first motivation can be turned into as well the alignment into ISEC goals in these terms, for example, the peace and fulfillment of humankind's potential, etc., etc. So that person can develop as well. For example, me, I enter as these kind of persons that I only wanted a professional experience. Then, with some education, etc., etc., I understood the ISEC goals, so I now striving for them as well. So how you are going to turn from this basic motivation for a bigger one that is, like, we can say, peace, and as well like the personal goals, blah blah blah. As well, make comfortable environment for you to connect. So you can ask them for a coffee, things like that you set a really correct environment so the person can feel good about telling you their personal motivations, and then guide the process so that the goals that you set are ambitions but realistic. Okay, so you're not going to, like, here I'm suggesting you most of the things, but from in my perspective, if that person puts um I want to call one EP a week, for me that's not an ambitious goal at all, because you can take 10 minutes of your day to call one EP. So if you can take 30 minutes, you can call more people, things like that. So what are the things that you are going to set that is realistic and ambitious at the same time? So for example, one of the things that I put once, because my team leader in this case is David, so he did this PDP for me as well. I put that I wanted to have more healthy foods in my life, for example. So this for me is super ambiguous, like it's super general. So what are the things that is more concrete? So I said, like, I want to eat less meat and I want to eat blah blah blah. Things like that that is more concrete and can be achievable as well. So here is professional goal setting here, for example, and this is in Spanish, but you can say, like, for example, create, if it's for a TL, you can say this is mostly like these numerical goals. For example, have 5 approvals in this amount of time. So the plan is going to be 5, and then is plan versus achieve. And in this is per month. So you have month 1, month 2, and review. That is equally 3 months. So you are going to do this per quarter, okay? So then once that you put the general goal, you are going to break it into weeks. So every week you're going to do something different, okay? And this, you're not going to, we can say, check every week that that person is achieving their goals, but you're going to make the environment of, I'm aware that you are in a PDP and that you are doing these weekly challenges. So how you're going to do it is like, hey guys, this is the start of week 1. Don't forget that you have your PDP, so check on it, and we're going to do it, blah blah blah. Okay, so every month you're going to do it, like you're going to set weeks for the 3 months in that PDP, and then you're going to put around two goals for professional goal setting, and then the development goal. Okay, so this is how you can do it. Do you have any questions for this? Silence, yes,
No.
okay. Okay. So then after that month, yes, everything good, right? Okay. After that you pass the first one-to-one, we're going to make sure that this checklist as well happens in month one. Okay. So the continuous feedback, if you have this is going to be quarterly. So you're going to do, for example, with your EV, 2 PDPs, we can say. For quarter one and quarter two for your term. So the same thing, how they're going to change the review of these goals, these goals that they put here. So then the action steps of week one and week two, then what happened, etc., etc. And then you're going to do a TL evaluation and then a member self-evaluation. So, for example, in your perspective, you had a 3, but that member thinks that they got a 3. You have a 5, but that member thinks that they had a 3 because they didn't do something. So that's why you can match their perspective into your perspective. For example, I'm a really, really hard person to myself. And when I hear someone that is like, you're doing really good, I start to understand that maybe I put myself into a lower space, So maybe I can increase myself, blah, blah, blah. So that's why you have like rewards and recognition, and that's why you have like a lot of things. Then after that pass, you're going to do a final review of the same challenges that you put into the first one, okay? So you're in those 3 months, you're not going to change goals. Cool? So yes, you do that. And after that, you're going to do a final debrief of main learnings, a negative or positive, either way. If, for example, one of those goals that person didn't achieve, what you can do is for the next PDP, you can put the same challenge into a different way. Like if it was really hard, you can lower it down. Or if it was like that person forget or didn't do it or blah, 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 like how you can do it for the next months. Main achievements and next steps in ISEC in this part. Okay, make sure that you have that. If that person is finishing their JD in general in ISEC, like next steps in life, we can say. So yeah, like observations like this, you don't write in the gray cells, and you are going to do that with every member. Okay, so it's for me it's something that is kind of easy because you have only one Excel sheet for per member, and the dashboard updates automatically. You don't move anything from here. So for me this is super good. You can do it every month, and this is how you deliver the leadership to your members. And yeah, do you have any questions, guys? Actually, I have a slide of questions. Yeah. Woo. Questions? Guys, do you have questions? Ay.
For
No,
me,
no.
it's all good. Just
Okay.
will we have the
The
video
tool?
on YouTube, right?
Yes, yes, yes. This is being recorded, so you can watch it after as well. And I'm going to
Sure.
share as well the PPT. And for the tool that I shared to you, this is the one that AI have, like they provided to it. I don't know if they are going to change it for the next semester, but for me, this is really cool. So I'm going to share it to you as well, so you can modify it and put your BPs there. And
Okay.
remember, you don't do the PDPs of all your members. If you do that, you're going to super mega die, okay? So just make sure that you do it with your BPs and your BPs are doing with their TLs or members. And if they are not doing it, why are the reasons that they are not doing it? Okay. Uh, so I don't know. Do you have something to say or something like that?
No, it looks pretty clear. It's
Amazing. Well, that's super good. Well, for me, this is everything from me. As you know, like if you have any questions after it or something like that, feel free to approach me. You know that I'm here for everything every time. So feel free and confident that I'm going to answer you. And I don't know, like thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. And I don't know, I love you. And see you.
Thank you. And
Thank
happy
you.
birthday again.
Hi,
Yeah,
thank you. Cuties.
thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
bebes.
you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Ciao, ciao.